Hello, this is Essie, the rich woman. It is, what time is it? Almost 10 p.m. and it's Thursday night. So I went to the dentist today. Then after I came from the dentist, I went to Walmart. And I got a few things. I didn't get a lot. And then I went to my storage unit because there's some things in there that I'd have made and haven't even put on Etsy yet. So I went there to get the mannequin heads and stuff, so I could take pictures and upload it on Etsy. So while I'm in my storage unit, my phone, I tried to lock my debit card. The debit card I just used at Walmart, but I was in my storage unit and I don't get good reception in there. I usually lock it right after I use it in the store, but I forgot. So I'm like, oh, well, I can't lock it. I'll wait till I leave out of the storage unit. So right when I come out of the storage unit, I start getting all these notifications because I have my it's the Cash App card. So I have the app and it notifies me when people are using it. And I'm like, 7-Eleven, $50. And I'm like, oh my, not again. So I didn't see the other purchases. And I'm like, I drove straight back to Walmart. Because I'm thinking, y'all system must be this register I use, because I went through the self-checkout. And something told me to go through the check stand with a person that rings you out, an employee. But I was like, oh, I'm going through the self-checkout, because I was watching this video about Walmart and self-checkout, and that people sometimes is accused of stealing at the self-checkout, and when they didn't steal. And they go through a lot. And Walmart want to press charges on them, and then Walmart tell them just pay this amount and we'll drop it. And 9 times out of 10, people usually pay that amount, but one lady didn't pay it. So it went to court and everything. She won a lot of money. I'm trying to think. I think they arrested her and everything, but I think she won millions. So the video was just saying, not to use the self-checkout because you don't want to be accused of stealing and you didn't steal and all this stuff. But anyway, I was like, well, I'm going to use the self-checkout because I'll make sure everything is wrong. I ain't never had a problem with self-checkout. But anyway, so I see this $50 purchase on my card from 7-Eleven, and then I go back to Walmart. I'm like, and I'm telling them, this register is compromised, I'm thinking maybe someone put their own, little thing on it to get people's information when they put their card in. And so they call the manager. Manager tells them to tell me to fill out a police report. I'm thinking to myself, what a police report going to do, And I had already cut the card off. I locked the card. I already let them know, just send me another card. So while I'm there talking to the Walmart employee, a police lady walked in. And I'm like, okay, well, good. But she wasn't there for me. She was there for someone else. Someone else had called her. An employee had called her because her car got broken into. So she was there for that, and I told her what I needed her for, and she was like, well, let me help her first, and then I'll come back and help you. I was like, okay. So she helped her. When she came back, I gave her all the information she needed, and I let her see the purchases on my app. And so she got everything except she just needed to know the address of the 7-Eleven. Now, the police lady asked me, do you have your card on you? I'm like, yeah, I have it, and I go looking in my purse, and I'm like, where's my card? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have it. I must have dropped it. And so I looked on my Cash App purchases, and I purchased at 7:14 p.m. They came right behind me and tried to purchase their Walmart stuff at 7:18, just 4 minutes later. for $82.22. It was declined because I only had change on there. I never let money sit in my Cash App anymore because I had a purchase at $25 to come off my car. One day the car was locked, and they used a receipt from a gas station I always go to. And I'm like, I know for a fact I was working at this time. I did not go to my gas station and get gas. So and the car was locked too. And so I let them know, Cash App no, Cash App put the money back. But this purchase tonight, so they tried to use it at Walmart right after I left. And it was declined. And then they tried to use it at 7-Eleven for $20 or something. That was declined. And then they were able to put on hold $50 and some change. Now, I don't usually use overdraft protection. I'm like, if the money's in there, let it go through. If it ain't, decline it. But Cash App was like, sent me a thing because I got this green status, whatever. So they sent me like, you can have $50 over overdraft protection. I'm like, okay, cool. So I turned it on. I shouldn't have turned it on because I could turn it on or off, but I had turned it on. So that's how they were able to put $50 and some change on hold. And then I'm guessing they went to the gas station and got it through the gas station because you have to use a PIN to use my card. And I'm like, sometimes if you have a debit card, they will run it as credit and it'll go through. So that's what I'm thinking, that they put $50 and some change was put on hold, and then it was finalized for $15.33. So I was glad all they got was $15.33, and that was from the overdraft protection. So so that's how I found out that I didn't have my card, because the police lady was like, do you have your card on you? And that's when I said, I don't see it. Oh, I must have dropped it. So she said, yep, that's why I always ask, do you have your card? Because sometimes people don't have their card, they dropped it. So she did a police report and wrote down, everything. So the only information is which 7-Eleven it was. It was made in the city of Marietta. So I went across the street from the Walmart. There's 7-Eleven right across the street. And the girl looked in the register and she didn't find no receipt for that price, that amount, in that time. So I drove to another 7-Eleven. It was a man. He really didn't know too much how to really get into the register, but he did check, and he said he didn't see anything for that price and that time. I went to another 7-Eleven. That man didn't know how. He's like, only here one day out of the week, to come back when the manager's here. I don't know how, and he didn't know how to do it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not finna drive around all night to these 7-Elevens. So I got 3 more 7-Elevens. I got to call when I wake up, well, tomorrow sometime, and find out to see if they could check their register to see which 7-Eleven it was. So Marietta has 5, from what I counted, 5 7-Elevens. And I already checked 2. So I was like, man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. I had a lot of things to do today, and that stopped me from doing some things. Now I'm sleepy as all outdoors, and I'm hungry too. So I'm finna, I'm seasoning me some chicken. I'm seasoning me some chicken. I'm gonna put it in the air fryer. And I already have sides that's already made in the refrigerator. I'm just gonna heat it up. But I think we're gonna find out who it was, because the lady asked me, did I want to press charges? And I was like, yeah, I do. That's so ignorant to use somebody's card when you're leaving a trail when you use somebody's card. And instead of saying, miss, you drop your card, no, you just pick it up and use it. So I already got another card on the way. But now I gotta change because that card is how I paid mostly all my bills, you know, was through that card. So everything was like I paid all my stuff online, and now I gotta go and change everything when I get my new card. So it's a bit of a headache. And it gave me a headache too. I had to take some headache med. I had to take some ibuprofen because I already had a slight headache, and that made it worse. So when I was at Walmart, I got an 8 pound bag of chicken, those party wings, you know, the drumlets and the flats. Yeah, a 8 pound bag for $20. I saw the 4 pound bag was $12.25, and I was gonna get that, but then I saw that 8 pound bag for $20. I'm like, this is a better buy right here. So I got that. Oh, well, what I was gonna say about that, I'm like, because Walmart had a lot of those bags of chicken, those flats and drumlets, and I'm like, why do they have all these party wings up in here? And so I thought about the Super Bowl. You know, that's why they had all that chicken in Walmart. Was because of the Super Bowl. And I'm like, well, they must have didn't sell too good because they sure have a lot left in Walmart. And I had thought about something. I did DoorDash on the Super Bowl Sunday. And the reason why I did DoorDash is because last Super Bowl, Uber was kind of dead, you know. So I'm like, well, I turned on the DoorDash app and I was getting trips, getting orders, you know. So I'm thinking this Super Bowl would be, you know, better to do DoorDash than rideshare. Nope, it wasn't better. It wasn't better at all. Um, I was like, this is ridiculous how long I've been on the app. And I only did 5 orders. I didn't get no chicken orders. Last year, I was getting Wingstop and Epic Wings. I didn't get no chicken orders this year. And I thought that was pretty strange. Not to get no chicken orders on Super Bowl Sunday? Not one. I didn't even go to a Cane's. Chick-fil-A be closed. But I didn't go to a Kentucky. I didn't go to not one chicken. I didn't have no chicken place orders this Super Bowl. So I'm like, does this have something to do with the economy? Because that was strange. Like just like this past Christmas, all those TVs Walmart had ordered, and they were still in there after Christmas was over. Those TVs that was in Walmart and Best Buy was still sitting in Walmart and Best Buy. So I really think the economy played a part in people not, you know, ordering all that chicken this year for Super Bowl. I thought that was strange. I sat there a lot of times just sitting there waiting for orders, and I was online for 4 hours because I started at 3:30 to 7:30. So I was online for 4 hours, only got 5 orders. And none of them were chicken orders. Because I had already said I ain't going to pick up at no chicken places. Because last year, Wingstop, they had you waiting over an hour for chicken. That's how busy it was. So I was like, I'm not doing that this year. But I'm telling you, the economy is doing really bad. For me not to get no chicken orders on Super Bowl, yep. And then for this person to try to use my card, knowing that they leaving a trail. I put butter on my chicken before I put it in the air fryer. I put some butter on it. Things just taste so much better with some butter. So, oh, good news. So my rent, I was trying to get my rent straight. They said 765, and I went through hell with those people, HUD housing. And they revised it. Now it's 541. So I've been here for this is the 7th month. So I'm back paid 7 months behind. So this organization called CityNet, they're the ones that helped me get this apartment. They're paying for the first 3 months of 541, and then they're paying my security deposit of 541. So they paying over $2,000 towards my rent. So I was so happy about that. I've been praying a lot about that. So I'm so happy that they're paying over $2,000. So I'm gonna start paying in March, and I gotta start paying on the back pay. So I'm gonna be working a whole lot. I'm like, I need to work 7 days a week, but I'm not. I might work 6 until I can get this. It seemed like we work, and the money just don't go for. It just don't. And I can't make as much as I would like to make. I don't know. A lot of times I find myself sitting, waiting for rides. Even though I might start off with a good start, and I might make a decent amount in the first couple of hours, then all of a sudden it slows down and I'm just sitting there. So, yeah, it seems like I just can't. I'm gonna try to start. Well, let me see. Tomorrow is Friday. I'm gonna try to start at 1:30 Friday, but Saturday I'm gonna try to start at 12. I'm trying to work as much as I can so I can pay the rent and start paying the back pay. But I tell you, I hear people talking about how they having a hard time, and they just work and the money ain't going nowhere, and they need a relief, they tired and all this stuff. Yep, I'm tired too. But all I can do is just keep praying, you know. What did I? Oh. Yeah, all I can do is just keep praying. He's coming through. He came through with half of what I owe, which is actually about 4 months. 4 months of $541. So Yahweh is answering my prayer. I know he's going to make a way for the rest of it. I was stressing at first though. I was. But he kept sending me messages saying that he will provide. He would take care of me. What other messages did he give me? Something about I took care of you last time. I would take care of you this time. Something to that effect. I kept seeing those words. So I have high hopes. I do. I feel so much better since they paid half of it. So the manager in the office said that next month they're gonna do a 3-day to pay or quit. I think that's what she said. So I'm supposed to go in there and they're gonna work out like a payment plan for me to pay the back rent. Yep. So I listed some new things on Etsy, and I'm going to be taking pictures because I got a lot of things I made and haven't even put on Etsy yet. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to be busy. I haven't made any cakes yet because I'm just so tired. I'll be tired at night. Then I'll be thinking, when I make the cake, then I gotta wash the dishes. But then I don't feel like making no cake. I'm gonna put y'all up here on the air fryer. I hope that noise isn't too much. I said now, since y'all have seen my apartment already, now I can show it. So, I was watching 5150. You know Corey Holcomb. He's the man over 5150. There's a TV, YouTube channel, but he's a comedian. And some of you, I'm sure, if you watch YouTube, you probably have heard about him because there's been a lot of stuff going on YouTube with Corey Holcomb, Anton Daniels, Joe Button, and who else? And the lead attorney. So, but I don't want to talk about that mess that they got going on there. What I want to talk about is this past Tuesday, because 5150 come on every Tuesday at night, and I was watching it, and he has a co-host up there called, her name is Darlene. She's Mexican, and they was talking about the Super Bowl halftime, which I didn't watch. I know they talking about it, but I ain't interested, you know. So I didn't watch it. But they were talking about that, and they was talking about Puerto Rico, and she had said that Puerto Rico was in the dark for over a year. They didn't have no electricity. And I'm like, thinking to myself, I think I vaguely remember hearing something about Puerto Rico not having any electricity. And I'm like, that's a U.S. territory. Why go over a year without electricity. And it's a U.S. territory, and you know how much how much money the U.S. has, because they robbing us blind. So you know how much money they have and how much money they send into other countries. So this, I'm like, they could have been fixed this problem with Puerto Rico, this electricity. Why would they let it go for over a year? And it just hit me. It just hit me anyway when she said it. I'm like, they testing on them. I have a feeling that the U.S. government is testing Puerto Rico for when they turn off the electricity here. Because the electricity is going to get turned off. And you know, California, they done made it so that all the stoves has to be electricity now. You can't, if you build a house or apartments, you cannot put a gas stove in there. It has to be electric stove. So, and I don't even think, if I'm not mistaken, like say if you have a gas stove and you buy another stove, I don't know if you can buy a gas stove. It might have to be an electric stove. But anyway, I said to myself, they're testing the Puerto Ricans. So when they turn off the electricity here, they probably have an idea how we're going to act here according to how the Puerto Ricans act when their electricity was turned off. This is what I'm thinking. Because it's going to get turned off. I had a dream of darkness. Other people had a dream of darkness. And Candace Owens, even though I don't like her, she heard some higher ups talking about the electricity is going to go out. And it is inedible. You know the word I'm trying to say. That word that means it's going to happen. And ain't nothing nobody can do about it. That word, inedible. So that's why I have gotten other ways to cook things. Now you can't use propane indoors. They say a lot of people have passed away because of doing stuff like that. You can't use propane indoors. So I'm like, well, what other way can I find? I was watching this man, this old white man, and he was showing ways of how you can cook and stay warm indoors without not even using that stuff. Propane and butane, and you ain't got to use that. So what he did was, he took, you know how when you make cupcakes, you know you had that pan with the little holes in it to make the cupcakes? Well, he took one of those and he put those, let me go get the light for you. He took these little candles, and he set it in the cupcake thing. So he took like 4 of these and he put it in 4 different cupcake things. And he put a pan on top, and he was cooking out of it. He was cooking. He was boiling water. You can fry some eggs. I was like, oh my goodness, look at this. I gotta get me, so I got 2 in my Amazon cart. And I keep a bunch of these. I got like over 100 of these right here. So I'm like, and then he showed a way that you can keep warm using these. And he showed like, get some bricks. You don't need a whole lot. I think maybe 4. You put 2 at the bottom and you put 2 on the side. And then you put the candle thing under there. You can light like 4 or 5 candles on the brick. And then you take a ceramic pot for a plant and you put it on top. I think it's supposed to have, I don't know if it have a hole on top of the ceramic pot or not, but it allows heat to go out into the area. So if you're in a room, you know. So I was like, I subscribed to that man's channel. And I would, if I knew the channel, I will put it in the description of this video. If I can find it, I will. But I ain't gonna guarantee it. But you probably can look it up on YouTube and find him. Put that in the search bar. Because he has some great, he was doing some good things, you know, like to help you out and stuff. I was like, I know it's hard for me to open jars and stuff now. And so he was showing this machine, this little machine that it squeezes the top of the jar and it turns it open for you. And I put that in my Amazon cart. And I just haven't ordered. I just put stuff in my Amazon cart, and then when I get the money, I order it. But I was watching this black lady, and she showed how to open a jar with a knife. I was like, because I was trying to open, I had got some chips and dip, and I was trying to open the dip, and I couldn't get it open, and you know, trying my best, and I got these, I had bought these little things right here where you put it on top to get a grip and open it. This wouldn't even work. Useless. So I just got a knife. I think this was the knife. Yeah, I just got a knife, a sharp knife, and I stuck it in there and popped it open. I'm like, oh my goodness. It was so easy. Once I stuck it in there and popped it open, I'm like, I don't need to order that device. You know, I don't need to order that now. Now I know how to get into jars. So now y'all know how to get into it. If you were having problems, just get a sharp knife and pop it, stick it under there and pop it open. So yeah. I'm going to be advertising my crochet when I make videos. And then I have a YouTube channel called Crochet by Essie. I'm going to be doing advertising and putting it up on that Crochet by Essie channel. And then too, showing you guys some things too when I'm talking to y'all. I got some things that I bought from my storage unit that I could show you. I'm gonna wait because I haven't even put them up on Etsy yet. So I know, let me see. I think that's all I need to talk about for now. I need to go outside and replant my palm tree. My palm tree is, I put some coffee grains in it, and it's not supposed to have coffee grains because it's supposed to, like, you're supposed to use a cactus type of dirt, citrus. dirt because the water supposed to just run right through it. And because of the coffee grains, the water is not running right through it. So I need to take that out and put in, take the coffee grains out and put in the right citrus dirt. I don't know if I'm gonna do that tonight because I really don't have time to be doing anything else. So I get so tired of washing dishes. I feel like all I do is wash dishes. But I went to. I don't eat out as much as I used to. I went to Stadium Pizza because I like Stadium Pizza. I like Costco pizza, but I like it when it's fresh. Because I bought a whole Costco pizza one time, and when I went to heat it up, it just didn't taste right. It didn't taste right after you heat it up. I'm like, I don't like this. So I went and got Stadium pizza, and I got a large one, and what a price difference. But something said, I wonder what they done did to the pizza because a lot of these restaurants are cutting back on the food portions. And so I went there, and when I came home, I'm eating the pizza. I'm like, why does pizza taste so plain? You know, I've been cooking my food and I've been putting a lot of seasoning stuff on my chicken and everything. So when I eat out now, the food tastes plain, except for In and Out. It don't taste plain at In and Out. But when I eat out, like I went to Kentucky, I hadn't been there in so long. I was so hungry one day, so I stopped and got some Kentucky. And I'm like, why does this chicken taste so plain? And I'm like, it got to be because I put so much seasoning and stuff on my chicken. That's probably why. And I haven't had it in over a year. So when I went to Stadium Pizza, I'm like, this pizza is plain tasting. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, what is the sauce? It wasn't hardly no sauce on the pizza. The pizza was almost dry. And I'm like, when I used to go to Stadium Pizza, they would put so much sauce on it, I would have to wipe some off. That's how much sauce they would put on there. And I'm like, so they cutting back on the sauce. So I called them and I told them, I wasn't happy with this. This pizza hardly got no sauce on it. It's plain. So she took my name and everything. She said, next time I come back, they'll take $10 off. I was like, okay. So I'm gonna order that pizza next week. Yeah, I'm gonna order that pizza next week so they can take $10 off. But the food just don't taste the same no more. And all these restaurants are cutting back on the food portions. So I was seeing a video at the Cheesecake Factory. They're known for their desserts and stuff. They were showing these desserts now. They usually give nice hearty slices of cake and cheesecake and stuff. People were opening cheesecake, their dessert, and it was so thin. It was cut so thin that they had to come on social media and show it. But they paid like up into like what, $15 for just a thin slice of cake or pie. And they showed other restaurants that are doing the same thing, cutting back on the food portions, but raising the prices. So I just don't know how these restaurants are going to survive. I really don't, doing stuff like that. I'd rather you raise the price and leave the food portions alone. Because if you're raising the price anyway, so people going there and then seeing the food portions, they're going to stop going because a lot of people say they're going to start eating at home. I stopped going to one of these restaurant I used to go to, and I mainly went for the salmon. And they would give salmon, rice, and cabbage, like steamed cabbage. And all of a sudden, like, they cut back on the fish. They start giving these little pieces of fish, so they cutting them smaller and giving these little pieces of fish. And I went back in there one time and I was like, this is not what I usually get. Y'all don't usually give this little amount. Just look at this, how small this is. So they gave me 2 extra nice pieces. I went back again, same thing. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with this place. I ain't been back since. And I left a review. But people do not like it when they get their food, when they go somewhere and they like the food, and then they go again, and then you done cut back on the food portions. That's just gonna make people not go there no more. Just like I don't go to that restaurant no more. Yeah. So I don't know. I think what the restaurant is doing is they don't realize that it's better to raise the price than to cut back on the food. They don't realize that, because cutting back on the food will make the person stop eating there for sure. So what am I going to do? I need to upload some more stuff online. And I will talk to you guys in another video. Have a good night. Bye.